Lindsay's passing around kind of a synopsis of our council. The Golden Spread Council, the Boy Scouts of America is broken down into about 300 councils across the country. We are called the Golden Spread Council, and within our council, we have what are called districts, and it's just a geographical area that is organized in packs and troops and crews, with the leadership there to run those, as well as having a person like Lindsay, who is the district executive for the Lone Wolf District, which is covered, which Dalhart is a part of. Last year, in the Golden Spread Council, we served over 6,100 youth. They were in programs of the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, and venturing. Now, Cub Scouts, has anyone ever heard the term Pinewood Derby car? Mm-hmm. Okay. Or the Bobcat badge. The Cub Scout rank, or the Cub Scout program, which came around in 1930, it hasn't been around the entire time as a Boy Scouts, but that's for 1st through 5th grade boys. And then the next program, I guess you could say, is a premier program we all probably know more of as the Boy Scout, the traditional Boy Scout program, which is 6th grade through high school boys, and that's where boys can earn the rank of the Eagle Scout. Are there any folks in the room that is an Eagle Scout? Is anybody an Eagle Scout here? Is anyone ever in Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts when they were growing up? Okay, very good. The thing about the Eagle Scout rank, that's you may or may not know, if every 4 boys out of 100, for every 100 boys that join the program, 4 of those will make it to the rank of Eagle Scout. I was fortunate to make the rank of Eagle Scout. I had a good set of parents at home, and the boys I was in, the Boy Scouts with, I went to church with, and so we were a pretty tight-knit group of folks. But you know, my intentions in working with the Scouts is not really to make Eagle Scouts, because you know, of the 200+ million kids that have been in the program since 1910, we can't just say that the Eagle Scouts are the only ones that got anything out of the program. But you know, it's a good goal, because the longer they're in the program, statistics and studies show, you know, they have a higher chance of graduating from high school, or going to college, or completing college, or being successful once they get out of school. And has anyone in here ever bought popcorn before? Does anybody know what popcorn is? Who has never bought popcorn in here? Really? You've all bought popcorn? I don't know if you've ever bought popcorn before. I'm going to give you some popcorn. Oh, this is the butter popcorn. So this is I don't know why they sell light butter popcorn. That makes no sense to me. It's like that just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, popcorn, you know, in the Cub Scout land represents something those kids are doing, and there's lots of things I could talk about with scouting. But one of the biggest kind of tenets of the program that you don't hear people talk about, you can just hand them to random people for smiling. But the Boy Scout program teaches young men to this simple concept called earning your way. And I know that's not something that the entire country that we live in thinks earning your way is an important thing. But I think we would all agree that when that kid turns 18, something happens at that point, other than the fact he turns 18. But what's supposed to happen when a kid turns? What's supposed to happen when a kid turns 18? Anybody? Leaves home. Probably should not be digging a basement, putting his TV down there, right? You don't want that. That's not good. Independent. And there are things within scouting, and the one that I like the most, probably one of the most, is this concept, where they go out there, they're selling things, popcorn and camp cards, to fund their program, and they learn a lesson. You know, mom and dad could write a check, or they couldn't write a check, but the intent there is that they learn at a young age the concept of if you want it, here's some effort that has to be put in to get it. And has anyone ever heard the term merit badge? You've heard the term merit badge. Well, they have these booklets for every merit badge, and they're probably 100 pages apiece. And they're intense stuff, from gardening to nuclear science to personal management. Well, personal management is actually a required merit badge for Boy Scouts, and it's scattered at the Cub Scout program. So the kid learns how to make a budget. And then they get through high school, and they have to keep track of this thing for 90 days, the income that they make and expenses. Just something simple. I'm sure we all understand what the word budget is. I don't know how many people across this country actually budget things. I'm also a Dave Ramsey fan. Have you ever heard Dave Ramsey? He was saying the other day that in 2013, 84% of all cars purchased were financed in the country. And then that represents a total of like $800 billion in debt on cars. Now, people are going to finance things, go out there, but the side comment to that is money and habits with money is all about behavior, and the scouting program helps give a kid the tools to refine that behavior, so when they get out of the house one day and they're married, they're not cashing out their family's IRA to go to Vegas, and I've heard stories of people doing that, or they're not doing stupid things with their money, they're protecting their family, they're doing sensible, common sense, smart things. The scouting program just kind of has a lot of that stuff scattered throughout it, so that a boy, when he gets out of the program, can be a good man or a good woman, because venturing, we allow girls in venturing.